So the past few weeks hasn't been very fun in terms of trades. I had the Darren Raddysh trade a few days ago, and then yesterday we had the Brady Tkachuk trade. Not happy about Raddysh. I don't know where our blue line offense is going to come from now. I understand we have Charlie Edouard Dastu, but he's young. Is he ready to take that number one role? I don't think so. I don't think he's ready for that yet. He had a great year last year, but he's still got to develop more. There's J.J. Moser, terrific on defense, but can he do the same on offense? Not totally sure. There's Ryan McDonough, who hasn't quarterbacked a power play since New York. There's Eric Chernak, who doesn't have much offensive capabilities. Great player on defense. So yeah, that's where we're at. Raddysh was a huge part of our power play, huge part of our offense, and he's gone. And very disappointed that we couldn't work out a deal with him. I find it very interesting that the Maple Leafs have signed him to $8.5 million. Now, at first, I thought that was too much money, but the more I hear people talk online and the talk about the salary cap increasing, it does make sense. Because I had him at $6 million maximum. I had a minimum $5 million, maximum $6 million. I didn't have him anything over $6 million. But given the fact that the salary cap continues to increase, it does make sense. The problem is seeing that number on paper annoys me. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, here's how this probably worked out. Raddysh wanted more money than Brisebois was willing to offer. So then Raddysh goes somewhere where they offer him more money, and Toronto offers him $8.5 million. He takes that. Our biggest gun from the blue line this year, no longer with us. And if we don't get someone in there quickly to fill that role, trouble. Now, I don't want to rush the process with Victor Hedman. Mental health is a very serious thing, and I believe that he needs time to recover from that. But we need someone in that role. We need to sign someone. There's been talk about John Carlson. There's been talk about him wanting to come back to the East Coast. I like that idea. The problem is Carlson he's waning in age. Pretty soon he's going to be gone. He did great in Anaheim for the time being. He's still a force offensively. The problem is that is not a long-standing deal. So that's where we're at. But for the Maple Leafs, they get a good guy back there in Raddysh. I think it's great for them. Raddysh on the power play with Nylander and McKenna Matthews. I think that would be devastating. Raddysh has got that big bomb of a slap shot. And obviously those other guys have got a heck of a ton of skill. So, good for him. That's all I'm going to say there. But I am disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Brady Tkachuk is now a Florida Panther, joining his brother. Now, this shook me as well because the Panthers are already, they're still a dynasty team. They were plagued with injuries this year, obviously couldn't make the playoffs, but with all of their players healthy, I think they might pick up right back where they left off. I don't think this team's DNA has changed one bit. As a matter of fact, I think they've added another key piece to their DNA in Brady Tkachuk, and I think this is a strong acquisition for them. Moving Sam Moskowitz was brilliant. I think that worked out for both parties, and I'll get to that later. But mark my words, the Panthers' offense is going to be even more unstoppable now. I mean, think about this. Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, Brady Tkachuk, all on your offense. Plus, you have other skill guys like Reinhart, Verhage, Barkov. I mean, never did I ever imagine the day when I would see Brady and Matthew Tkachuk on a team with Brad Marchand. Those three guys with, I'm drawing a blank right now, Sam Bennett. Those four guys on the same team. Never ever did I imagine the day when those four dudes would be on the same team. Insane. So we're going to have our hands full. And if the Battle of Florida is anything like it was last year, we better buckle up. Because they're going to come a lot harder and a lot stronger. And I don't think we have the tools to win that kind of a battle. The Lightning. So, now the Senators, in my opinion, are a little cooked. The Senators have lost their captain, their heart and soul of the team. I mentioned this in a recent video, but one of the biggest reasons that Travis Green took the head coaching job for Ottawa was because he had a captain and a leader in Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk cares about winning. I saw this in the Olympics. He's a competitor, him and his brother. You lose that, it takes a toll on your team, which is why I think the first thing that Ottawa needs to figure out is who's their next leader. Who's their next captain? Is it Jake Sanderson? Is it Drake Batherson? That's a question that they got to answer. I would say Claude Giroux, but Giroux's a veteran. He's not going to be around for much longer. So they really need to figure out who that leader is. And they might have to wire up their identity a little bit because that is a huge piece to their team that they're missing. And I feel for them. For years, you weren't in the playoffs. You weren't successful ever since that 2017 run they had with EK65 on the back end. You start making the playoffs again, and then you lose your captain. So I feel for those fans. That's got to be extremely hard for them. This has got to be extremely hard for Travis Green and the men that are in the front office. It's got to be hard for them. Moving on to Mackie Samoskevich. He was traded to the Kraken. I think this is a terrific pickup for the Kraken. Samoskevich is a very good young player. He was inserted in the lineup at times last year with the Panthers. Didn't really play much in that playoff run that he had with them. But this guy is a good player. Got a lot of skill. And I think he fits well with how young the Kraken are and how skilled they are. He's a right winger primarily, or at least that's where he was at on the Panthers. However, he does have some experience playing center back in his youth. So I think he could shift around a little bit, because the thing is the Kraken already have a great deal of right wingers. I mean, Eberle and Capo Caco, those are the two dudes, and then Berkeley Catton. Those are their three right wingers right now. So I think he could shift around a great deal. Another thing I'd like to point out is that he did play college hockey with Matty Beniers at the University of Michigan. So part of me thinks maybe those guys can be a combination on either the first or second line, because they played on a line together a little bit back in their youth. But I think this is a great trade for the Kraken. The Kraken obviously are looking to get things rolling again. They haven't been to the postseason in a couple of years, ever since they had that upset against the Avalanche a few years back. But this is a great pickup for the Kraken. But I think this trade works out with the Panthers too, because they were able to make room for Brady Tkachuk. Well, that's going to be all. Thank you guys so much for watching here on G Speaks Hockey. If you want more hockey content like this, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.